What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be getting into part two of our summer blockbuster adventure. Today, we are going to be talking about the month of July. Now, we already rated June in the part one, so if you haven't seen that one, go ahead and give that a quick look. In this one, we are going to go through and see. For me, this was the pivotal month. This month was the make or break. This was really just a two movie month, even though I did see more in this month. But, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we are going to get right into it. I don't want to waste any time, but we didn't start off July very hot. We started July with Jurassic World Rebirth, which I knew wasn't going to be good. And I went to see it anyway, and I was proven correct. This movie was not very fun to sit through. This movie was long. It felt like they reused storylines from two other Jurassic Parks. I want to say it's number two, where the little boy and his dad get lost, and then the boy gets lost on the island. That happened in this one, and then I believe it was Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, where there's an island of dinosaurs and they have to go there to get something. They did it in this one, and they just combined them. So I guess it's a new concept if you just take old ideas and fuse them together in one thing. I guess that makes a new movie. It doesn't, but this wasn't very good. Scarlett Johansson, she's not a bad actress. I don't dislike her. This role wasn't good. She didn't help this movie at all. Even during certain dramatic scenes, she had this like weird smirk on her face, this shit-eating grin that I don't know what if she was trying to portray someone that was like hiding their real feelings, but she just looked more or less like she was trying not to laugh. It took me out of it during some of the more serious moments. It didn't capture me. I didn't really like this one, but I also kind of knew I wasn't gonna like it, so it's really my fault because I went to see something that I knew I wasn't gonna like. While the action sequences are fine, otherwise, I mean, it's the same old shit. That's literally the best I can say about this movie is that it is the same as every other dinosaur eating people movie you're gonna see. Jurassic World was better. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was better. This is on par with. I think this may be a little worse than Dominion, but it's in that realm where I feel like this genre, the Jurassic World thing, has hit a wall, and I don't know what new thing you could do to make it feel fresh. I just don't know what you could do. You guys made up your own dinosaurs. You continued certain storylines here and there, but overall, I'm actually kind of hoping this isn't a rebirth. Let's just go ahead and take this one out back and give it the old Yeller treatment. I don't want to see another one of these. But that wasn't a great start to the month, but maybe it would get better with our next entry. And it didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into I Know What You Did Last Summer. And no, not that original one, the remake by the same name. You should at least I wasn't excited for this movie. I didn't really even know it was coming out until I started seeing advertisements for it. I had already made my, you know, top 14, I believe. It was a top 14 video. I don't think this movie would have made it because I didn't even really like the original from back in the day. I was always more of a Scream fan because I felt Scream did a better job with their storyline and tried to make things fresh and unique. While I feel like I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of just did the same thing. I mean, the beginning of July is the same old shit month. These were just the same old thing. I didn't like it. All they really did was do the exact same storyline. They just brought in Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. That's all they really did. The cast that they selected, even kind of personality wise, resembles all the people from the original movie. So if you see in the original, you don't need to see this because it is the exact same movie. And I don't know why you would make it so similar to the original. I don't really feel a need to go and see it because I already saw it. Ah, this just wasn't it. I really wish nobody asked for this movie. You're not Scream. I look forward to seeing Scream just because everything that happens always relates to the original movie, and that takes time to write to make sure that you connect everything to where it makes sense. And the addition of Jenny Ortega made it a fresher film. This movie, I have no idea who these people are. The most famous people are the people that they brought back from the original films because they were in the original. This wasn't it. I guess I would recommend waiting until this one hit the streaming service and you've watched everything that you want to watch and this is left. Go ahead and put this on and I think you'll be fine. If you're not used to slasher films, some parts might get you. The kills are decent, but it's nothing you haven't seen before, which is the problem. We're getting into the era where we need something different. This month already had a bunch of reboots that were on the brink of disaster, and I just don't think they did a very good job with this one. Thumbs down for me, dog. But wait a minute. What's that in the sky? It's a bird? It's a plane. No, it's an actual good DC Superman movie. Ladies and gentlemen, the next movie we're going to talk about is Superman. Now, this is what I've been wanting. This is what I was hoping for. I really like this one. This movie was very good. The story, thank you, James Gunn, for skipping the whole origin story where they put him in the bassinet, they give him the message, and then Krypton blows up. We've seen that shit 1,000 times. I'm so glad we didn't cover it. They threw some text up there, and then we got right into Superman getting his ass. I'm glad we didn't have to sit through him finding a job and then running into Lois and falling for her and her falling for him and then all that stuff. She already knew he was Superman. They were already been dating. I thought that was just absolutely fantastic. Thank you for just getting right into it. And that meant that we were going to get a lot more of the new storyline than rehashing shit that we've already seen. Now, I know this movie had a lot of controversy because people thought it was overly political. I'm not going to get into that. There's plenty of other people who already talked about it. I simply want to talk about what was on screen. And I was very happy with it. I was very happy at the fact that they got into the fact that he technically lives in America, which would make him an American citizen. And he's going to these foreign places, but there's this conflict. His want to do good around the world is being politicized and weaponized against him because he lives here. Now, if he lived in his fortress of solitude and belonged to no nation, then I guess that would be less of a thing that you could say. But because he does reside within a country, that could be seen as that country interfering with another country, which there's this whole plot that goes behind it as to why this stuff was being brought up in the first place. Lois interviews him hard in this movie. No Diddy. I don't even know if that works there. She does this like scathing interview of him by his own request. And you could see where the conflict lies within their discussion. I tend to side with Superman because, like he said, people were going to die and he couldn't allow that to happen. I like the fact that we changed up his family dynamic a little bit. The parents that we once thought were these just absolutely righteous, do right people kind of turned out to be assholes. And they wanted him to really come here to rule and not blend in with society, which throws his whole identity into conflict, even within himself. When we know that just because your parents want you to do something doesn't mean that that's who or what you are. But like I said, the storyline was very interesting. Lex Luthor was great. He was a Killmonger type villain with where his reasoning could be seen as, yeah, I kind of agree with that, but you are going about it in the worst possible way. And it comes across great. There's a lot of good dialogue in this movie. Mr. Terrific kind of stole the show for me because when he first started talking, I was thinking Robert Downey Jr. and Thunder, but he turned out to be a really good. I really highly like this movie. Recommend it. Can't wait for it to stream so I can watch it a whole bunch more. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Fantastic Four. Marvel. Marvel. Are you starting to get it? I think Marvel is starting to get it. I think they're understanding what the fan base has been wanting, and that is a closer personal connection with these characters. I think they relied too heavily on the action sequences and things blowing up and all these abilities and time loops and all these cool things, and they forgot to just make us relate to the characters, which I think they did very well in Thunderbolts, and it seems like it's carrying on into this one. Sue Storm absolutely steals this movie. The performance of the actress, fantastic. The her monologue within the movie is great. Her abilities at the end when she puts everything on the line to protect not only the planet, but her family and her new son, fantastic. That's the best word I can describe Johnny Storm. I'm kinda glad they gave him a slightly different personality. I was kinda glad that they didn't go with the whole playboy Chris Evans one, and they did more of a humble, shy, wanting to prove himself, responsible Johnny Storm, because everything else would have kinda distracted from the main storyline. Galactus was great. I mean, he looked great, he sounded great, he looked menacing, he looked impossible to beat. I really liked the Silver Surfer. I know people had issues with the Silver Surfer being a female, but I mean, this is what we got, so I'm just judging the movie based off what I saw. I wasn't a big comic book reader, so that doesn't even really matter to me. What we got on screen, I felt was a very good portrayal of Silver Surfer. Very stoic. Her backstory, pretty good as to why she's so enslaved to Galactus. This movie was great. It's only been out a few weeks, so I'm gonna say a lot less about this movie than everything else. But I highly recommend going to see both of these films. Unfortunately, it wasn't really enough. These films weren't enough to make July as good as June. I feel like the failures were far more scathing in July with the two bad movies than June was with the one bad movie. So the grade for July, solid B. I believe both Marvel and DC are headed in good directions. I think I'm hoping that Marvel understands and starts to tap in to, even though box office numbers for Fantastic Four aren't that great, I don't really care about box office numbers. I care more about the actual story. I think as they start to really get us closer to the characters personally, everything else will fix itself. DC, this is a good jumping off point. I'm very interested to see where they're going to go with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of the summer so far, and I will see y'all very, very soon for what? Peace, y'all.